Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of GRHRA's Ignite HR Hot Seat, featuring our partner sponsor segment. Today we have the pleasure of featuring Karen Eden again, the Executive Director of Graduate Admissions and Professional Development at St. Ambrose University. And we are thrilled to have you today. And how are you doing this morning, Karen?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. The sun is out and I'm working from home today. So
That's nice. I like to work in my personal office, even though I can work from home, but as long as I have my GRHRA mug filled with coffee. So, Karen, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. You did this last April for us, so we'll certainly ask you some different questions to learn more about you. But first one I have for you, who has been the biggest influence on your career?
oh my gosh. I think from a young age, my mom.
Yeah.
My mom has been my rock, my guiding star, really. Her support and encouragement really have been really important to me. And she taught me the value of hard work and the importance of perseverance. For her, it is every obstacle is an opportunity, and a mistake isn't a mistake if you learn from it. She's definitely been a person that's been crucial in helping me navigate ups and downs. There's been a lot. I've been in higher ed for more than 20 years. So there's a lot of ups and downs in 20 years in a couple of institutions. So, keeping my mindset that with those things, that mistakes are okay. It's crucial. It's really crucial for your career. And, my mom also demonstrated the importance of empathy, kindness. My mom was an alternative school teacher, and it takes a lot of patience and a lot of kindness. And seeing that and seeing her actually go to college when I was in high school. She got married right out of high school, and she waited for us to get to a point that we were able to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
She was a farm wife for a long time, and for me, it's those actions were really important. And for me, I think molded, who I am as a person and in my career. And I think that everything that I've done has had her fingerprint on it.
Yeah.
And she passed away in 2011. But I really feel that, everything that she did for me, has really had a huge impact on me.
Yeah, and she's all around you now with all those
Yeah,
things.
for sure.
I think your mother and my mother would have been the best of friends because
Oh,
when I was in high school, she went back to school as well. She had a bachelor's degree from before, but she wanted to go and focus on another a focus point. And yeah, and it was surprising how much work she put in at that point in her life, and she's still working today. So
oh my gosh. Yeah. The ability to juggle the multiple responsibilities that they had. And I mean, they did it with determination and grace. And I think that that's just something that, I appreciate.
yeah, and I really appreciated the message that you took away from all of her efforts, that it's okay to have mistakes, and anybody young or at a good point in their career should understand that it's okay to make mistakes and not sweat it as long as you learn from it. Excellent message there. So
Yeah.
next question I have for you, Karen. How has remote work affected St. Ambrose?
Oh, wow.
And working remotely today, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah. I think like many institutions, we've experienced a lot of change. And in shifting to remote work, it was initially driven by necessity, right? We had to. During COVID, it was something that we needed to do. And I think for us, over time, it's really had us rethink how we operate and how we engage with our community internally and externally. I think one of the most noticeable impacts was flexibility. For me, like I said, I work from home today. I have a 30-minute drive to work. So I get an hour back every day when I work from home. And that's an hour that I can dedicate to my home and my work.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Um, you know, for us also, I think it's allowed students and faculty to have a stronger relationship because they had to both learn pretty quickly about online education. And I think that's greater satisfaction. Students are, um, mentally better, I think. And there's a balance for us professionally and personally with responsibilities. I can at lunchtime go down and put a load of laundry in. I mean, so I have my hour lunch that I can do something to help myself personally and professionally. I think it makes me a better person. I do think that operationally also that we've had to adapt to digital tools and technologies, and for some of us, it's a little challenging. Um, but really, it's created a space for collaboration where generationally we're helping each other. um I know I've learned things from students and staff members that are younger, that I had no idea that I could do and I should have been doing before. It made things a lot faster. So I think that's been great. um we our adaptability for sure, our adaptability has been through the roof since working from home, learning different ways to connect to the campus. IT's my friend now. So yeah, I do think academically for us, it's definitely opened new possibilities where hybrid has become a thing and students now have a choice. Am I going to take that class online? Am I going to take that class face to face? It's really let us reach people that may not have been able to do the things they need to do. Um, our students are now able to have virtual hours with our professors, so they physically don't have to come to campus, but that they can do all those things. Um, it hasn't been without its challenges, and I
Yeah,
probably was one of them. But yeah, I think that remote work has opened up so many different things financially. You know, being able to utilize some of the money that we would have had to turn certain lights on and run certain things, we can make that investment back into technology for the institution and infrastructure. I think balancing those are important. Um, is remote work going to stay? I think so. I mean, for us, it's an operational model now, and making sure that we're connecting with those hybrid um, models. And the other thing for me, I think that we really have to pay attention to is people feeling isolated or that they're not really sure that they're connected to campus. And for me and those I work with, it's check-ins. It's making sure that you're doing okay, and um, making sure that we make that connection for sure every day in some capacity to make sure we're still connected. So for us, I think it's transformative. I think that we definitely are staying connected to remote work.
yeah. I would agree. It's been a wonderful tool, and I've been using it for many years pre-COVID, but then all my other counterparts and employers that I work with now that they're all utilizing it. Whereas before it would necessitate driving 3 hours to go see someone to sit in a boardroom for a 30-minute to an hour meeting.
Yeah.
And now we put all that additional time back in our pocket, and it's been wonderful. I do think it's still funny though, and I occasionally still see the video pop up where I believe it's a lawyer in a courtroom setting and he had the cat video on and he didn't know how to change it. That will make me laugh for the end of time. So,
That was probably me.
yeah, or me too. But I just would have laughed it off. So, last question I have for you, Karen. What advice would you give a younger you?
Oh my gosh. And I think that we talked about this, embracing failure,
Yeah,
mean, I think that when we're young, we can feel like, it's end of the world when we fail, or when something happens that's out of our control and we're like, oh, that's the worst thing ever. And it's a powerful tool. If you embrace failure and know, as my mom said, it's not a mistake if you learned from it, it's a life experience. And I mean, I've been through a lot of ups and downs in my career. I've lost a job. I had to go find a job after being at one place for 15 years.
Oh,
And yeah, and so you learn that failure is not failure if you conquer it,
mhm.
right? And for me, I feel like I did. And the other thing, be patient. We are so fast paced and everything has to happen like that, right? I mean, I definitely need to slow down. And as a younger me, I think that would have been better. I was one of those people. Everything had to happen really, really fast.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, just slowing down. Um, Another piece of advice I would say, definitely build strong relationships. And I think I did that. For me, the reason why I'm at St. Ambrose is because I built a strong relationship with Sister Joan. I worked on a project with her, and she said, if you ever need anything, let me know. Well, I did. And, through lots of conversation and support, I'm here. And, you know, definitely building bridges and keeping the bridges together and making sure that you foster them. That's the other thing, connecting with people. And, you can say, oh, I haven't talked to you in a really long time. And I was just thinking about you. That means the world, right? LinkedIn is huge. For me, LinkedIn is a way for me to see what people are doing, kind of like Facebook,
Yeah.
just seeing as people's careers. I'm 10 years this year at St. Ambrose, and the people that just
Like,
sent me a really nice message just to say, hey, congratulations. And, and it's definitely creating those relationships, keeping those relationships. And I would say, the other thing about my younger self compared to now is taking care of yourself mentally and physically. I mean, as we've learned through COVID, and we become, I think, more aware of that, of taking care of yourself. And we have so much more support, I think, now. It's not as, oh, you're going to go see somebody. It's not like that anymore. It is, oh, you have somebody to support you. And I think that's important, that if I would have said to my younger self that, don't be afraid to ask for help.
yeah.
And if you need something, I mean, I had a great support system. I'm grateful. Like I said, my mom, my dad, my family, they were all there when anything ever happened. But I think, the statement of it's okay to not be okay
Mhm.
is important for people to remember.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
we just went through May, which is mental health awareness month. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
but yeah, post-COVID with everybody embracing the work from home, the virtual meetings and all of that, I can really see how someone could also fall into a pit of it needs to happen now because we have all these tools and leadership from the top on down, just say, take your time. You'll
Yep.
actually put together better quality work if you take your time, and you'll omit potential mistakes from happening, which is okay, but yeah, that's what I take away from that.
Yeah, I just think it's, telling a younger version of myself, which actually is in my children who are in their 20s now and graduated from college, that, you know, you got to embrace the journey.
Yeah,
It's all the ups and downs. You have to deal with them as they grow or as you grow. And, each step's a challenge and you learn from it.
yeah,
And, you'll get to the person you need to be.
yeah.
Just take your time.
And as I tell young people and what I do in my career, you don't want to have just success all the way to the top because you don't really fully learn or appreciate the journey that you've been on. You have to have those ups and downs. And I would much rather them start off with some of those bumps rather than just success immediately, because they're gonna
Yep.
take so much more away from that. Well,
Yeah.
Karen, I want to thank you very much for participating in the hot seat today. Excellent conversation as always. For those of you who are listening, this is your first time meeting Karen. She participates in a lot of our events, whether it be virtually or in person. Certainly check us out at www.grhr.org to see upcoming events, and hopefully you can meet Karen at some of these events. And Karen, I hope you have a fabulous day.
Thanks. You too.
Okay.